Today's quick Q&A is about Henry VIII and his older brother Arthur Tudor. A common question is whether these two brothers had a close relationship. The short answer? Not really. Let me explain why Henry and Arthur were raised very differently. Arthur, as King Henry VII's eldest son and heir to the throne, was brought up in his own household and educated by himself with his own private tutors, whose aim was to equip him with the knowledge and skills he needed to be King of England. He was surrounded by men who were personally vetted by his father, in a very male-dominated world. As I explained in a previous video on Arthur, although his household and education were overseen, or rather controlled, by his father, historian Sean Cunningham notes that records show that the king only visited Arthur formally at his household in Farnham on 4 occasions. And then in 1492, when he was 6, Arthur was sent to the Welsh Marches to lead the council there. By his death in 1502, Arthur had only seen his family on a handful of occasions. Meanwhile, Arthur's younger brother Henry, as the spare, was treated very differently. He had a completely different upbringing. He was kept closer to court, residing mainly at Eltham Palace, with his elder sister Margaret and his younger sister Mary, and their education was presided over by their mother Elizabeth of York. David Starkey writes that Henry's world was shaped by his sisters, his mother and her women, and that as the only male in his nursery at Eltham, he would have been the king of the castle and probably spoilt outrageously. It was a very different upbringing to the very formal and strict one that Arthur received, and Henry never joined Arthur in his training, and he didn't spend any time with him. Not that they would have had much in common anyway, being 5 years apart. The brothers' separation wasn't unusual for royal siblings. Their lives were dictated by duty and the need to prepare the heir for their future role. Sadly, Arthur died at just 15, just months after his marriage to Catherine of Aragon, leaving Henry to unexpectedly step into the role of heir and eventually king. So, while they were brothers, their relationship was shaped by distance and duty rather than closeness. Of course, they did share one thing, didn't they? A wife. They were both married to Catherine of Aragon. What do you think about this fascinating sibling dynamic? Do you think they would have got on if they'd spent time together, or were they too different? Do let me know in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this quick Q&A, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Tudor trivia. See you next time. Bye-bye.